What's up, guys? It is Magi, Captain and Caster, Inside Gaming. Coming at you with another Chobo Week 6 matchup. And this time around, what I have for you is a Protoss versus Terran, and spawning into the bottom right-hand corner, the blue Terran pieces from FXB. It is Racoon. And in the top left-hand corner, the green Protoss pieces from Inside Gaming. Looking to keep her win streak rolling here. It is Sereena, who did recover her win streak after losing a couple games back a couple weeks ago. But anyway, she is going to send a probe out across the map here to start taking a look around and possibly deny this barracks a little bit. One thing Terran players really hate dealing with is when a worker from the opposing player comes in and starts knocking on your SCV that wants to build that base, that barracks. All he wants to do is build that barracks. Here we go. The cheeky SCV is going to get to work on that probe. Or vice versa, I should say. Probe going to get to work on that SCV. And no gas steal. Racoon on top of that as well. He did go for the little gas steal block there, just to make sure his refinery cannot get blocked. And the probe realizes she's not going to get too much more done. It's probably going to throw down a pylon and head on home. She's going to minus him. See, nope. I want to submit on rock, but that's alright. On the other side of the map, Sereena is going to get her gateway started up. Interestingly enough, she's going to wall off her main ramp to some degree. Very interesting that she wants to do this because it's a Terran player. And usually against a Terran player, you kind of just want to drop your pylon somewhere around your nexus. But she is expanding her vision a little bit, which is something I can highly agree with. Because if you play Magi ever, aka me, I'm going to be a very cheeky Terran and probably just float a factory in your base, especially right where that pylon is covering for the vision. So with this spread, she's kind of got the entire base covered, so she can't really get proxied on in her base. We're going to throw down that Nexus. We do have a bit of a gas Reaper opening? Reaper come out? No, there is no Reaper here. It looks like he's going to opt into some Battle Megs type of play and get some Hellions rolling. Or not. There's a Widowmine on the way, however. Looks like he's just going to opt into that Widowmine drop rather than Scouts. But no Reaper on the map. 2 Marines are on the way, however, and a Widowmine. Starport is started, which means we will see a bit of a 1-1-1 and go into some Widowmine drops. But Sereena on the opposite side of the map says, you know what? If I can't cheeky you a little bit in the early game, I'm going to cheeky you about 3 minutes in. Get cheesy. Here comes the Pylon Rush. And if she can hold this, she's going to break the Terran pretty easily here. However, if Terran holds this is going to put Sereena super far behind. And she's going to have a very rough day once this drop does come out. Terran a little bit supply blocked here. We'll get that cleaned up pretty quickly. There are 4 Marines out, and this pylon is a little bit too close to Sereena. I'm going to throw one down up here in this corner. You are going to lose one. She is going to get to work trying to shave off some of these Marines so that the DPS doesn't completely destroy the pylon. A little bit of this Viper there. This Stalker getting very bruised. The Widowmine is going to get eaten by the Mothership Core, which puts her in a very tight situation. With that Widowmine out, she's going to be able to like take out a couple depots, but outside that, there's not much else she can do. See, this is why I should have said put a pylon here over putting 2 right next to each other. This way you're going to get 1 up guaranteed, and it's actually going to be a little bit safer on this side. But anyway, she is going to get to work on this barracks next, and the next depot is going to fall. The Terran is supply blocked here, but will be shortly. Does have another pylon on the way. Going to lift that barracks. That Mothership Core does eat that last Widowmine, and with that, he will hold very easily. Oh, repair the barracks! Repair the barracks! 20! Alright, he sees it. Racoon does end up repairing the barracks, and a Widowmine drop will commence here. Just gonna send whatever she has, or Racoon has, over this drop. Now, Sereena was macroing up behind this. As a Warp Prism on the way, 2 gateways, there is an Adept out here. She is getting a bit of a gateway explosion going, so she is adding on some more gateways. We got the Stalker from earlier, but is it going to be enough to shut down this drop? That's what the real question would be. The Warp Prism is on the way over an Observer. I always feel Protoss, you always go for that Observer first, especially when you see a Willowmine out in the early game. Because you should know that drop is going to show up with that Willowmine. We do have a Liberator follow up behind this. And here we go, Medevac going to unload the Willowmine in the mineral line. She is pulling her probes, trying to keep them alive. One probe does die there on the Willowmine, but 4 will die to these Marines. A couple of sentries here trying to clean up what they can. A photon overcharge being used from that fresh mothership core. The drop will get cleaned up, but 9 probes will end up falling. So a bit of economic damage being done there. And hold the phone, folks, there is a Hellion run by at the front. And Rocket Racoon finding some very crucial economic damage here. It's going to put Sereena behind the workers. But it's not so bad that she can't recover. After all, Chrono Boost is a thing on the Nexus. These Hellions are still trying to find some damage here. You're just going to sacrifice themselves to the Adept Goddesses here. One Medevac does make it out. All in all, Sereena holds. The worker count is not even, with army supply being about even, but the next stage of the game of what's going to matter here. This should be possibly a huge Adept Warp in here. The Observer finally starts. Sereena, pull your probes! Oh my gosh, Sereena, pull your probes. Sereena, pay attention to probes! Sereena! 3 more probes do end up falling to the Willowmine. So was it that terrible of a loss on that one? That could have been a lot worse if he would have target fired that Willowmine a little bit. Command Center is down for Rocket Racoon, and he is getting his macro going. Stem is on the way. 6 minutes in. Understandable why the stem was a bit delayed there. He was a bit delayed in the early game. So not having that max DPS though from the Marines, that drop does kind of bite, but at the same time does equal out in the end. He did get some crucial economic damage done. As we move into the later stage of the game, Sereena looking to harass with this Warp Prism while she gets into her later tech, moving into that tier 2 tech with the Immortals here. Getting that +1 armor. Always a good upgrade to start off with for toss over weapons, because as your units lose their shield, they start taking armor or hull damage, so the armor is going to negate a little bit of that damage. Warp Prism looking to find her way in here. There's a Willowmine and a turret on the outskirts of the map here. This shouldn't find too much damage. Their base is on the way for Rocket Racoon. Well, is 2 more barracks. He is getting that macro game rolling. He is getting his 1-1 with the armory on the way. He will be able to move right into that 2-2. While Sereena on the other side of the map is getting her robotics facility, or robotics bay. Facility is actually going into that ground-based army, so not going into the air, which means she should have Storm on the way. There we go, Twilight Council being thrown down. We will be able to get that resonating glaives. Bit of an Artosis Pylon tool in here. Powering 3 gateways and a forge. For the Twilight Council. It looks like she is going to take her 3rd as well. So both players staying about equal in the macro base play. Sereena is ahead in workers this time around. Arm supply is about even. Warp Prism going to get around in here and see, there's not much I can find to kill off here. But with the Liberators out, this is going to start making the aggression here a lot harder for Sereena, as the Robo is down. And Robo units are directly countered by Liberators very easily. And as I was saying, you're going to get to the point in time where Protoss is going to have to figure out how to deal with that. It's either going to be Blink, the Blink underneath the Liberators, or it's going to have to be some Phoenixes here. I imagine Sereena is just going to opt for the Storm. It looks like Terran is going to move out. About halfway out across the map here, and air units getting further ahead here because, you know, they fly faster and aren't hindered by terrain such as bio. Man, it must be hard to be a Marine. For that matter, Marauder. Look at this suit the Marauder has to haul around, man. That thing's huge. And well, these Liberators are going to siege up in the choke point here. An Adept is coming out, and it will spot this, but it will be a little bit too late. Sereena's going to have to respawn to protect the 3rd, but the Liberators are just going to siege up right in the choke point. This 3rd base is down, so you can't fight into this. Scan being thrown down to see exactly what is left over here with the Protoss army. Step forward in a heartbeat. The sentry gets sniped out, so no forcemen will go down. This army should get cleaned up. There's another round of Adepts do get warped in here. And the only way she's going to be able to break this Liberator position here is if she shades underneath them. But hold the phone here, Terran. This is going to pick up and drop right into the main base. This Artosis Pylon is under siege. Going to knock out the +2 armor. Gonna knock. Just focus Pylon. Oh, focus the Pylon. There we go. Gonna unpower 2 gateways into +1 armor. Colossus is in threat of being picked off as well. Gonna sacrifice those bio units and get on out of here. Next round of Marines and medevacs are on the way. Sereena needs. Oh, like this. She's gonna be able to cut off some of these units. Might be able to cut off the medevacs on the command move. Sereena, you can't be doing that. You need to stay on the attack move if you're gonna move your army around the map. But because you did that, you opened up your main base. So you better get your warp in here. Get some units up front. Because you are going to have to walk all the way back around now just to come up here and fight this. And the more economic damage is going to get done. 8 probes falling so far. Cannon getting picked off. The Colossus in danger of getting picked off. She will be able to get in here and take this fight. But starting to think it's going to be too little too late. As Sereena's starting to get a little bit shaken up here. The next round of bio continues to flood across the map. At this point in time, she has to win the next few fights. She has to be able to get to that 12-minute mark now with Storm. Hold the phone. Here we go. When she is behind that Dark Shrine. Sereena, within Insight Gaming, is known as kind of like our own DT Queen. And that's what she does. As eventually gets tired, once she starts to get into the situation where she knows she's falling behind, she will go to DTs and try and find a way to just clean your house out with DTs. Those are the Colossus here to the Liberators. The Budget Core is going to fall as well. And Sereena definitely starting to fall apart a little bit as a lot of her army is stuck behind this Terran army. There's nothing here to support this Colossus. The poor Colossus is going to run on home. And Bio is just going to be able to walk right to the main and start unpowering gateways, unpowering pylons. And this is going to start to spell the end of this game for Sereena. A lot of her base is just going to get unpowered, and he will just be able to pick on up and get out of here with the rest of this army while reinforcing. Reinforcements just flood in from behind. A lot of these units are in these medevacs. She won't be able to snipe out any of them, and she was focusing down the empty medevacs. Our supply is still relatively within catch here as for Sereena, 49 to 41, so she takes a really good fight. She can get back into this, but she has to do it soon before this army gets any bigger. And she's on the depths with a few stalkers, so there's not much she can do, but this would be a good catch for her. She can pick off at least a couple of depths here. Templar just going to get laser beamed. This is going to spell the end of Sereena here this time around, as she is trying to push out to find some damage on the map. But now she is stuck, and she should just shade it up. Those shades coming out here, walking into the Liberator range. Walking into that Liberation field. No more Colossus on the way. A lot of her gateways are unpowered. The Vikings are going to get up here to scout this. Losing her natural nexus. She does have a 3rd base nexus, but at this point in the game, it's not really going to matter. As the Cyber Nexus core is going to fall. She's only owned Zealots, and it's one Immortal that is going to get stopped as the power plug has been pulled on this Protoss base. Resonating Glades is also going to get shut down. With that, Sereena's going to have to tap out here. So all the pylons are now unpowered. Oh, hello there, dolphin shark creature. Now the Budget Core does pop out, but the Vikings are here, and they're just immediately going to just rip it apart. I mean, there's nothing left here for Sereena besides some adepts against this Terran army, which more and more are just going to come on out. Stalker here should be able to start picking up these Liberators. Racoon's not really paying attention to them either. 17 probes dead. Sereena just going, I will not give up. Will not surrender. These adepts not going to be able to clean up the last of this Terran army before her adepts do die. So the healing factor here is too great. The Vikings are going to land and begin cleaning up the last of the Terran army. Protoss army. GG, well played, will be called out. And with that, Racoon will end up defeating Sereena in this Diamond League match. Guys, this is Magi signing off once again. If you like what you see, smash that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitch. As well, also toss me your replays at magicast@gmail.com if you would like to have your games casted. As always, I will see you in the next one.